Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Silky Sky Kitten, and welcome to something new. Well, sort of. I normally am not inclined to do Let's Plays of horror games, but hey, it's almost Halloween time, so why not? Just don't ask me to Let's Play Amnesia. Everybody and their grandmother's cat has Let's Played Amnesia. Anyways, for this quick series, I am going to attempt to run through Penumbra Overture, the first of the Penumbra series, developed by Frictional Games. Now, Penumbra originally started as a tech demo for the HPL engine, before it was expanded into its own series of survival horror games. These games can also be seen as the spiritual successors to Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which was also developed by Frictional, and it pretty much just shows in a lot of the gameplay elements and how they function and such. But anyways, enough of my rambling, let's actually play this, shall we? So, we're gonna do this normal difficulty.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world-renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
So yes, we're off to Greenland in this game. Finally, we're almost docked. I better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick things up using left mouse, and I can take a closer look at things using right mouse. So, fourth wall breaking this. Always good to have a notebook, and to jot down interesting information and reminders, P. I think I left my torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It can be opened using my left mouse on it, holding the button down and moving the mouse. And some whiskey. Tis a shame it was empty. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. Okay, so it said that the key, or no, the flashlight, whatever, was in here. And there it is. The flashlight switches on and off via the inventory tab, or hopefully with the shortcut key F. Now, where's that emergency glow stick? Should be still in the locker. Key's in my inventory. So you can see, for those of you who are familiar with Amnesia, this shares a lot of similarities, like the ability to pick up objects and interact with them in a very similar manner. So even like the lamp you can move around with and throw. So we gotta go towards, get the emergency glow stick, grab the key, and hit there, and open it up. Good thing I have my torch at hand. This country seems to exist in a permanent state of twilight. So I need to grab that glow stick. Could come in handy if the torch runs out of batteries. I should be able to access it through my inventory or with the shortcut key, G. Ah, some extra batteries to power my flashlight. So yes. See, I could just sort of look around at the bed and the photos on the wall, but I think it might be a better idea to actually get moving. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I had been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and knew hypothermia was setting in, and started looking for shelter. So cold, don't know where I am, need shelter soon. And no, I'm not going to try and read all of that in a fake British accent. If I click and hold the interact button, I should have just about managed to pick up that rock. Frozen solid must break ice. So I'm guessing we'll need one of those rocks up here. So I assume, at the very least. Ah. Interact. There we go. I think that opened it. Yep. And down we descend. Yeah, that sounds creepy. Jesus, my head. Can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although, looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? Barrel here. Empty boxes of ammunition. What is this place? What's this? Emergency exit procedures. What's that? Steel rod. Can I use that? No, it's not a weapon. Okay, let's just put that back in my inventory. Hello? Flares. It's a 24-hour ration pack. Long past its sell-by date. Hammer. Let's see, I could swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. I can make a backswing by pulling the mouse right, and then follow through by pushing left. The opposite works too. Pulling back, then thrusting forward, produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold down rightmost after the backswing, I should still be able to look around. So yes, one difference between this and the Amnesia games, and also the later Penumbra games, is that this game actually has a little bit of a combat element to it, with things like the hammer and later on pickaxe. Those were taken out of the game later on, though, because they were rather criticized for being cumbersome. It's a wooden door. I hope it's open. stuck. Must be something in the way. So... oh, I can move these. I think. Yep. Aha! Can I move this whole thing? If I remove the ration? No, I can't. What happens if I interact? Wooden shelf slowly falling apart. That's all that says. So, I'm guessing we need to... smack at that to break open our way through. What the heck's that noise? What's up here? That just leads to a little hatch, right? The deuce is in there. That doesn't sound good. What's this? Looks like some sort of industrial mechanism, although there's a hole in the center. No way to operate it. Okay. Huh, there's a barrel. That's probably what was blocking the door. Not that I can... oh, I can move it. Yay, the door's open, although I'm on the other side already. So that doesn't matter. If I can... can't get back up there. Okay, so it's back. So it's actually a good thing we could open that door again. So back into the creepy tunnels. Where I came from. Okay, maybe we don't have to go back into the creepy tunnels. I'm just assuming we have to find something that fits in that little hole. But what? Oh! Maybe the pipe? Yep, that did it. So, interact mode. Turn it open, and voila! The hatch is open. Okay, awesome. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness, and buried beneath snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids. Knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. And with that, I'm going to stop episode 1. We shall continue in episode 2, so until then, folks, farewell.